It's Tuesday, February 11th, 2025, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm John Babcock, in for Brian Troxell, who is on the West Coast, and we'll have more about that next week. Tuesday, Trump touted that he plans to take over and own the Gaza Strip, claiming the U.S. will clear out the rubble, rebuild, put in McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts franchises, and promised a Diet Coke machine on every street corner. In addition, Trump declared Mexico is going to pay for it, and he did this thing. Monday, Trump signed an executive order to encourage the U.S. government and consumers to buy wasteful single-use plastic drinking straws. You know, Teddy Roosevelt signed an executive order in 1904 expanding the protection of the forestry reserves. In 1961, JFK signed an executive order to expand food distribution to needy families. Reagan signed an executive order to increase private sector support of arts and humanities. Obama signed an executive order to ensure lawful interrogations. And what does old spray tan do? Well, plastic straws and abolishing diversity and inclusion in the United States workplace. I don't have to say anything. Trump is also ordering the U.S. Mint to stop producing pennies because the coin costs more to produce than its face value. Plus, with inflation the way it is, the old penny for your thoughts is now worth $3. $3 for your thoughts. $3 for your thoughts. No one's saying that. And more Trump news. It's going to be the next 4 years, everybody. Trump says he has spoken to Putin about ending the Ukraine war. Putin says he'd be happy to end the war as long as he gets everything he wants. Trump said he doesn't think that'll happen. Putin then complimented Trump on his diplomacy skills and superior masculinity. Trump then said Putin could have everything he wants. That's all it takes. Just simple as that. Just sign it right over. Just compliment him and everything is yours. U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell is recovering after he fell not once, but twice at the U.S. Capitol on the same day. The 82-year-old lawmaker says he's fine. He just had to fight off the forces of Satan, trying yet again to drag him straight to hell. Is that an 80s movie? Drag Me Straight to Hell? When was that? Somebody add in the comments. I'm not going to look it up. And also, let's stay tuned for some big Vape the Grease parody news coming out next week. Not now, next week. And Brian will be back to talk about that. Luigi the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO, has accepted nearly $300,000 in donations from supporters and well-wishers. He plans to use the donations to pay for his defense, and if he's found guilty, he'll use the money to buy off a U.S. Supreme Court justice. Like the Kansas City Chiefs do with the refs. Except it didn't work on Sunday, did it? They were humiliated. Police in Texas arrested a pardoned January 6th rioter who they say planned to have intercourse with an underage girl he met online. Turns out he's yet again accused of trying to get into places where he doesn't belong. No, don't. No. Shopify has taken down a site advertised by rapper Ye, it's Kanye to you and me, that was selling swastika t-shirts. Shopify was horrified that they said that Ye sold these shirts because he did not gain the approval of the Hitler estate. Awful. And of course, because it's anti-Semitic stuff. Shopify is officially opposed to that. It's opposed to anything that's anti-Semitic, officially. A 66-year-old New Hampshire man is only the second person known to be living with a pig kidney. There are probably more men out there, but they're afraid to be ridiculed. Because you know how close-minded some people are. And if you're living with a pig kidney that is of consenting age, I say shout it from the silo tops. Say it. Say it proud. I live with a pig kidney. Friday, PlayStation suffered a global online outage lasting almost 24 hours. Gamers from Helsinki to Hollywood were so frustrated they were spitting nickels. And I get it. I mean, if I had just dropped 500 gold on an Orient 6 map for Elder Scrolls, and here it was 24-hour outage, and I can't get to my first dirt mount, I'd be honked off too. Elder Scrolls. Behavioral science and health researchers at the University College London say people are most happy in the mornings Apparently they've never been to my house in the morning. Yeah. Sticking with higher education across the pond, the University of West of England issued 220 trigger warnings for plays by William Shakespeare. They're even suggesting title changes for some of his plays. For example, instead of King Lear, they're suggesting King Intently Looking in a Non-Creepy Manner. And for The Taming of the Shrew, they're suggesting Spiritually Centering the Assertive Female Presenting Character. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week. We hope you are too. Brian will be back next week. We hope you'll be back too to see him back next week. We'll all be here next week. Let's come back next week to kind of see this. Plus, the Faith the Grease parody news. You'll want to stick around and come back for that. Until then, my name is John. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I just finished. Yeah, let's do lunch.
Esophagus paving, intestine coating, rectum elongating. OD grain cluster flakes will radiate your skin by adding radiation to the skin. OD grain cluster flakes.